Okay, I'm going to call this layer motion, and I'm going to make a new layer, and I'm going to call this layer scale. Let's do a scale tween. To do a scale tween, I'm going to hide my lower layer. Let's show that layer. I'm going to copy this symbol just to save time. Go into the scale layer and paste it. Hide my lower layer. And this tween scale. I'm going to make my ball very small. Notice it's already a symbol, so I don't have to convert it to a symbol. Go down the road in time, insert a keyframe, select my scale tool, scale my object up, select the frames that are affected, create motion tween, and now my ball starts small and it gets big. Small, big. Keyframes are very forgiving. Once you get a keyframe in there, you can go to the keyframe, move the object, change the size of the object, whatever you want to do, and Flash takes care of all of the in-betweening for you. Let's do a rotation tween. Rotation tweens are kind of weird. And let's select our object and copy it. And let's hide that layer, go to our rotation layer, edit, paste center. And we're going to need to give this a weird shape here. We'll make it an oval. Rotation tweens are strange because first you apply the tween, then you apply the rotation. So here's my object. I go to frame 30, insert a keyframe. I select my frame block. It turns black. Create motion tween. Now notice nothing happens. I'm dragging through the timeline. You can see no change. But we initiate the rotation in the first frame. And now in the property inspector, let's drag it up here so we can see it better. In the property inspector, here where it says rotate, I can choose clockwise or counterclockwise. I can insert a number of times. I'll put in a 4. Literally, you can put in any number between 1 and 65,000. But at 12 frames per second, higher than like 9 isn't going to do you much good. And then if I drag through the timeline, now we have rotation. There you go. Now, how about opacity? Opacity. We want to copy this guy, edit, copy. And let's go to this frame, edit, paste, center, hide this layer. Okay, now opacity is a little weird also. And you'll see many websites where the images fade in and out. This would be an opacity tween. And I want this object to fade in. So in frame 1, I select the object, and in the property inspector, over here under color, I go to alpha. That would be Adobe's term for opacity in Flash. And here I take opacity down to 0. Now I go to frame 30, insert a keyframe, an important frame. Notice my opacity information does not show up in the property inspector. So I have to select the object, and here's my alpha information. I take alpha up to as high as I would like it, in this case 100%. Select my frame block, create motion tween. And now if I drag through the timeline, here we go. Woohoo! All right. Now let's do one more of these, and that would be color change. Let's make a new layer. I'm going to call this color. Color is something that I rarely use, if ever. I can't remember the last time I did this, but here is my object. And here I would just go to insert keyframe, select the object. For this color, I'm going to take color to tint. And then I can click over here in this little swatch and give it some new color. select my frame block, create motion tween. Now it goes from red to yellow over time. Apparently this is not going to work with images, only what I call like shapes, you know, things that you draw. So that's that. Now let's do one more of these. You can apply all 5 types of tweening to any one object. So let's go edit, paste center, and let's scale this thing down, make it itsy bitsy teeny tiny. And now let's go out here, insert a keyframe, and let's oh my gosh, I'm going blank. Let's scale it up like that. Okay. And let's make it so that it has no opacity in the first frame. And now I'm going to apply the tween. It fades in, it gets big, and I want it to rotate. So I'll go to the first frame a number of times. Bam. And now it's fading in, it gets big, and spins. There you go. Now, one thing to check out, to see my animation work, I go Control, Test, Movie. Control, Test, Movie. This will save the Swift file that you publish into the folder where the FLA file has been saved. So I test the movie, and this is going to preview my animation. Notice it's showing all of the layers animating. And notice I've got this very important thing turned on, View Bandwidth Profiler. I like the Bandwidth Profiler because right here it gives me the size of my animation, in this case 2K. This is your friend. You want to always watch the Bandwidth Profiler, and that shows you how big your file size is. So that's the scoop, folks. That is your basic Animation 101 with Bill Dallas Lewis. And hey, give me an email. Tell me what you think about the video. Hopefully it was helpful. And if you want to take a one-on class, you can be anywhere in the United States or Canada, and we can do one-on-one sessions anytime, a day or night. Let's go. Thank you very much. So long.